Good evening to you. A quick analysis on the DNA testing situation in the United Kingdom with regards to the migrants. Good evening to you, to all of you that are coming on board. Good evening, and thanks for yesterday for coming on the platform on the audio that I played yesterday. Good evening to you, my Mr. Yinka Makosko, my very good person. Allah Minie. Yami Jiba Crown, good evening. Fadekemi Adeleye, good evening to you, all of you. Good evening. Ajala Taiwo, very pleasant evening to you, my dear person as well. Yetunde Taiwo, good evening to you. Good evening to you, all of you that you are coming on my beautiful platform. My name hasn't changed. Lọ́yà Tokunbo Lágbàyé. Méjì ò kì í jẹ́ àṣà. Mo fẹ́ fi àsìkò yìí máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi tẹ́ máa ṣe, you know, show your accolade of love and like all the time when we are on this program. I want to show my appreciation to you that I cannot be without you do this thing. So it is impossible for me to do it alone. I want to appreciate you. I want to say thank you to all of you. The British weather, according to the meridian time here, is a bit cold, you know, and tomorrow night is Halloween night. But I want to congratulate all of us on the successful seeing another Halloween night in the United Kingdom. Thank you for coming on board, Johnny Homney. Thank you to all of you. Let people know. Analysis of the DNA testing exercise is what we are looking at now. Analysis of the effect of it on people that have been denied, the effect of it, and what we think will happen in the end. But I'm not too sure about that. But the DNA testing exercise, the apology is meaningless. You know, so good evening to you, Godwin Rose. Esosa Godwin Yetunde Taiwo. It can never change you exactly. So let people know that we are here. Please like and share straight away. Beautiful weather in the United Kingdom, even though it's chilly, but it's still beautiful because we are not under tension. So it's very relaxing. I would say to you, it's very relaxing. Babajide Shotomu, good evening to you. Good evening to you. I am looking deeply. Honey Hyde, good evening, dear. Good evening. I am looking deeply into the analysis, you know, analysis with regards to genetic testing required by the Home Office on migrants. Don't forget, it varies. The genetic testing is on 3 formats. It's looking at the Afghanistan, the Gekas, and the family life in the UK. So it is not only the family life that it actually messed with. It actually messed with those who have died, those who have laid their life, who have put their family at the forefront for Her Majesty II, Queen Elizabeth, in the United Kingdom, outside the UK. So when we say the Gekas, the Afghanistans that have fought war successfully for us to stand and to make sure we are here, we are where we are today, it is so insulting when they are requesting the DNA testing from them. So it is not just the family life. It's in 3 formats. So let's get that clear right now. It's in 3 ways. They have offended people in 3 segments. The Afghanistan that put their lives at the forefront for their majesty. The Gekas that have put their life at the forefront, you know, of the war for Her Majesty. And the family life of the citizens of the British citizen in the UK is insulting the Article 8 family life by asking for DNA. Ladies and gentlemen, like and share and let people know we are here. Yes, we are here. Thank you, Yinka. We are here for what we call analysis on what has actually happened, what transpired, you know. When the Gekas are talking, they are complaining, the Afghanistans are complaining about the family life. But pretty much sure, let's look at the family life that concerns the migrants in here in the UK. The insult is so unimaginable to the extent that a lot of people have lost their job as a result of this DNA nonsense requesting. Let us be outspoken in this situation because this is a complex matter, and as such, we are not taking it as a joke. But we have to be open to this. And if the video can be copied and be seen, it doesn't bother me. It bothers me when it's not seen by people that needs to see it, or people that needs to pick it up. So that is why it doesn't bother me. Now, the point is that the Secretary of State apologized to the migrants or to the people that were affected as a result of his department asking for a DNA testing. Now, from the superior's point of view, the superiors in the chambers, his sorry is meaningless in a way that the repercussions is it's so difficult to put back, you know, to put the situation back. And this is where we see the law of thought. when we talk about the law of thought, we look back at the law of thought in law as a lawyer and said, would it be possible for the Secretary of State to put the people back into the situation they should have been or they would have been had they not had that rejection from the Home Office on the DNA issue? The law of thought is what we are looking in collaboration with the Home Office, the immigration rules now. So it is not just for ordinary person when it comes to a situation like this. A lot of people last night were saying that compensation. Some will be very right to say compensation, but loudly, a lot of people do not know at what point and at what stage you would eventually ask for compensation. You will only ask for compensation when there is damages, when you have been affected by the decision. Now, those who would have been affected are those who had previous leave that they have been granted under British parent rule, and they are already in employment. They were working already. Only all of a sudden for them to go for renewal, the DNA was picked up from nowhere and asking them to provide DNA. In that situation, it obviously means that the people will have lost their job in between by not able, especially ladies, I said yesterday, you know, it's immeasurable. Thank you, Babajide Shotomi. It's immeasurable because a lot of people have lost their job in between. But let me reiterate to you, you will only be affected if you had previous leave and you were going for a renewal, extension of leave, then you are being asked to provide a DNA. Then that, and of course, because you could not get your partner, you are not in good term anymore. Both of you are not talking. Of course, if you're not talking, how are you going to get DNA of somebody that doesn't talk to you? Possibly it's not even in the UK anymore. So there is no way you can get hold of the DNA. So how do you measure that losses? Then it basically means that since you can't get DNA, the Home Office have rejected your application or perhaps abandoned it to some extent that it has now taken a toll of 18 months. So basically, during that period, your job that you are doing, a lot of employers does not follow Section 3C of the Immigration Act 1971 anymore. So basically what they do is that if you can't provide evidence of your continuity to be in employment, your right to be in employment, they lay you off. So if you had previous leave and you are being laid off because of the Home Office atrocity asking for nonsense DNA, it will mean that you will be able to set yourself a kind of a system whereby you will be waiting for Secretary of State to say further and say, listen, these are my losses. I earn 1,200 every month after tax. And since 18th of so last year, I have been laid off from employment because I was unable to get my partner's DNA testing, you know, with my child. And as a result of that, I have been out of pocket. Apart from the employment, apart from the salary loss that you have made in between, you know, apart from the salary loss, yeah, on the damage, there will be other things you have to put into place because it will have affected your life in a way that it will be difficult to quantify under law of thought. It will be so difficult to quantify it under the law of thought. So you understand? And that is where an expert will start coming in. But at the moment, we still don't know where we are heading. What we can see now is that the apology is meaningless. It's nonsense. It's barbaric. It shouldn't have even taken place in the first instance because we don't even know what they are going to do to it. Do you understand? So we're still on it. Thank you. You know, so a lot of people have been badly affected. But the point here is that people have come to see me in the office today as a result of that audio yesterday because they were waiting for the horses for it to come from the horse's mouth because they have got some news from people, but they could not trust them. As a result of that, they waited for me to come out and say, listen, the Home Office Secretary of State has apologized. He did apologize, you know, but the apology is meaningless. That's the point of taking. Now, he's saying that it's only come to his attention in June. I beg your pardon. That is your department, and you're supposed to have full control of what is happening within your department. Then no one is going to exonerate the Secretary of State on that nonsense talk to say that it only comes to his attention. It's not good. Nobody's going to accept that kind of talk. The point here is that it basically shows that he too is careless with his department. He's not taking proper good control of his department. So it means that his department is not. I don't know whether it's network.